Welcome back to Fast Politics, Congressman Garcia.
Happy to be here.
We're talking the day after this 2025 cycle, which is an off year. It's like not an off year election. It's like an off year election, right? But it was a pretty serious repudiation of Trump and Trumpism. You are the ranking on oversight. You have been one of the people sort of out there being like, you can't do a lot of this shit. So it must be strange to wake up and be you this morning.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it feels it feels great. And I was saying like it feels like Democrats and the progressive movement is back. And we have been struggling, I think rightly so, after a big presidential loss, one that had the stakes so high when you have Donald Trump on the other side of it. And to see the country just usher in not just new leadership, but expand the tent. I have to emphasize the fact that we could elect on the same night both a Zoran and an Abigail in two very different political perspectives, but both running with our party support, both having huge wins, I think paves a future where we've got to be a coalition party again.
Dim.
And we can do that. And I think I got to also give some credit to Ken Martin at the DNC. I think he has been wisely in these last few months investing in these races and ensuring that we support all Democrats. And I think it's paying off.
I do think both Ken Martin and Gavin Newsom have taken a lot of shit. There's been the last year has just been a lot of repudiations of everybody all the time. But Gavin, it feels like a much more clear story. So I'd love you to talk us through sort of Prop 50, the decision there, what you think it means. I know there was definitely just the fact that they were doing this was a huge morale push for a lot of Democrats.
First, I think people need to really get and understand like the kind of person that Gavin Newsom is. And he's obviously been a fixture in our state for a long time. Governor, former lieutenant governor, mayor of San Francisco, an executive, someone that has strong opinions. Never been shy about pushing big, bold ideas, has passed numerous big statewide propositions. And so
Right.
obviously, he, when confronted with what's going on, he made a decision to go all in and honestly put his reputation on the line. I mean, his political future also on the line.
Right, because what this prop, I just want to be clear for just the four people who don't live and die by this. So Texas decided to give Donald Trump 5 seats. Now, the only way for California to do that would be to have a special election. There was no election planned with a ballot initiative and to put it all together in 2 months. And Newsom did.
That's exactly right. And it looks so seamless today post win, but this was complicated.
Yeah.
Not only did the governor essentially he raised, the 100 million plus campaign that he put together was because he made it happen.
Right.
His team ran the measure. He fundraised for it. He kept the California delegation together. He then had to get it through the legislature who had very diverse opinions about what it should look like. And then he got people across the country to get on board. And he wisely made it a reaction, right? A moment to take on what Texas was doing, Donald Trump was doing with rigging the map for 2026. And he once again took a big risk. It was a big idea, but it paid off immensely. And the one kind of untold benefit that people aren't talking about, everyone keeps saying, oh, you're going to, these 5 seats are in play. Absolutely. But we had swing seats in California that could gone back and forth depending on the election. Those are now off the table.
Yeah.
And so while a lot of people are going to focus on these 5 seats, great.
Mm-hmm.
You now have another 5 seats that were toss-ups, that were essentially basically, possibly Dem seats that are now becoming solid Dem seats.
Tell us what those are.
So, for example, you take seats like in Orange County, for example,
Right.
like Michael Levin, Dave Min, Derek Tran. These seats in Orange County now are these are Democratic seats. You've got seats now like Josh Harder, who was in a much more toss-up district. He's in a solid Democratic seat, and so these are incumbents that are now being protected. And we don't have to spend the immense resources it takes to win a seat in California. And now we can, honestly, there are 2 targeted seats now in California. We're going to go after those seats. And it's a good day for our state. And I'll say this, every governor should be taking their cues right now from what we're doing in California, what
Yeah.
Newsom did. And I think it's a shame to see some of them kind of like inch their way to the solution when the solution is right in front of them.
Gavin did really do that was bold action. And a lot of people on the right were saying that if this didn't work, it was the end of Gavin Newsom's political career because he is termed out in 26.
That's right. I would never count out Gavin Newsom. Look, he's a friend. He's someone that a mentor I respect, but he's probably our sharpest political mind. I mean, he's also a political person that understands campaigns. And I think that is, he governs, he's aggressive, he takes risks, and he's proving in this moment that to take on Donald Trump, you got to play, in that same sandbox. And
Right.
he pushes back, the way he takes him down, the way he's not afraid to get in his face. I think that's what the country wants and needs.
It certainly feels like it's what the country wants. There's a sort of interesting wrinkle here. I mean, I'm sure you saw this reporting that Trump was in the room with the senators when they lost, and he was like, "You now have to nuke the filibuster." I mean, there's clearly going to be a lot of blame here. I want you to talk about this idea that maybe the redistricting may actually hurt Trump.
I think that's right. I think they're also realizing, and there was some news coming out of like Kansas, for example, that the legislature there is now rethinking whether
They
they're going
can't
to.
do it, right? Didn't they lose? Yeah.
The numbers were so overwhelming
Yeah.
that I think that you're going to have some states rethink their position, because in a blue wave year, we might be able to win many more of these seats that may have not been winnable in another election. And so I think this could end up actually causing a lot more damage to Donald Trump than he expected. I think his
Yeah.
efforts in Texas are where things are starting to push back. You saw Westmore in Maryland. New York is moving forward on a plan. Illinois is having conversations with Governor Pritzker. I think there are some real robust conversations happening about moving forward. And I think all governors need to be engaged at this moment and do whatever they can to get these seats. We have to fight as aggressively as the MAGA right. There's just no other way of doing it.
One of the things that I saw, and you're going to be on the forefront of this, I take no pleasure to tell you, is all of the MAGA influencers were like, it's rigged.
Yeah.
They were like, you saw New Jersey moving leftward. The idea that somehow this was not just like people don't like troops in the streets. They don't like giving tax cuts to billionaires. They don't like Elon Musk cutting their grandma's Medicare. But MAGA world is definitely gonna, I mean, there's only one word when they lose an election, and it's rigged.
That's exactly right. And I think that, it's dangerous, obviously, to say every election is rigged. I can't tell you right now in California, I've spent most of the day responding and hearing from folks that are, we got Republicans here filing lawsuits claiming that somehow Prop 50 was rigged, that the governor did this or the governor did that. I mean, it's just completely ridiculous. When Donald Trump doesn't win, it's rigged. I mean, that's just something that has happened. And I think, that they've got to be careful, because I think what's one thing to campaign saying you're going to help working people and you're going to help Latinos and you're actually going to lower costs. And then people actually see their bank accounts and they see
Right.
their rents going up and they see the grocery costs that are not going down. And you can scream and yell on Fox News all day saying that Donald Trump is lowering your costs. But when your costs actually are going up and you're feeling it, then there's a disconnect. And I think 2 things happened last night across the country that are really important. One is this idea that what's happening on the ground, people stopped the misinformation machine that was geared up for these elections in California, in New Jersey, same misinformation that was kind of happening in the last presidential about what was the economy and what was going on. It didn't really work. And it didn't connect because people went with what they're feeling. People
Right.
went with the promises that Trump made didn't deliver on. My costs are still going up. And so I think that was a win for kind of truth and the media environment changing. I think the amount of new media and YouTube pages and podcasts that have kind of been uplifted and created in the last year and couple years. I mean, the new media landscape for progressives is changing. We are beginning to push and catch up, and I think that's going to be really important. And I saw that play out, especially here in California. The second thing that people need to know about last night is the Latino vote.
Yeah.
I was watching this very carefully. And if you look at the precincts with large Latino populations out in New Jersey or in California, all of the gains that Trump made were erased, not just erased, they moved beyond actually what we weren't expecting. And so the question about whether Latinos were going to permanently stick with Republicans, I think was partly answered last night. And without that kind of growing Latino coalition, Republicans are going to have a hard time winning in 26 and 28. So that was very good news last night.
Yeah. I mean, who could have seen that having a militia force target Latinos, have the Supreme Court say it's okay, Kavanaugh stops, would turn Latino voters? Who could have seen that?
That's exactly right. And I've shared these, two quick stories. One is someone in my family who voted for Trump. Another one is a local business person I know really well, Barber, voted for Trump. Good people, great guys. Both, my little group of focus group, I've talked to them extensively, and both regret their vote. Both are horrified about what Trump is doing with ICE to people on the street, and both feel betrayed.
Yeah.
And I think Latinos across this country that voted for Trump, that maybe there was appeal to that working class kind of, machismo that maybe Trump shared and kind of represented.
Right.
That's going away a little bit, and I think that's a good thing for the country.
The government is still shut down. It's now I think it's the longest shutdown.
Ever.
Yeah. And it's still shut down. Donald Trump wants to kill the filibuster. He's very into solving problems. What does it look like? Mike Johnson, House is still out. Do you think Mike Johnson is handling this well? What's the next move here? You have Sean Duffy saying that that you're not going to be able to fly. I mean, where are we here?
It's simple first. I mean, Mike Johnson has kept this government shut down for over a month, and the Republicans have been on vacation. Democrats have been in DC. I've been in DC every week, checking in, being in DC, meeting with our caucus, and Republicans have been nowhere to be found. They're around the country doing God knows what, waiting for orders from Donald Trump. And our position from day one has been the right one, which is that we will not support a Trump budget that allows healthcare costs to go up and skyrocket for the American public. And people are now starting to get those letters and those messages from their healthcare providers, and they're seeing them because we're getting the calls. They're seeing their healthcare costs are going up or going to go up next year. That is not a position that Republicans want to be able to defend. And so we're saying extend the support for the Affordable Care Act, keep costs low, and stop giving tax breaks to billionaires. And I think that's been a winning argument with the American public. And so from a shutdown perspective, I think Johnson knows that we're not going to cave. Senate Democrats have done a good job of holding tight. I hope they still do so. And we've got to get concessions out of Trump and Mike Johnson. And if Donald Trump wants to end the shutdown, he could do it tomorrow. He should extend and support the Affordable Care Act and reopen the government. It's not hard.
At some point, Mike Johnson will have to bring you all back. And then there's also this discharge petition, which doesn't want to swear in this Congresswoman Grijalva, right? And it's been a month now, but just it seems very stupid to me. It feels like he's making the situation worse for himself. Cause if he swears her in, you guys sign the discharge petition, it goes to the Senate, they kill it in the Senate. So, there's no world in which this administration is going to release the Epstein files. That's not happening. So, but in this, it feels so obvious that he's just obfuscating. Or am I missing something?
No, I mean it's bad politics. It's also just the wrong thing to do. He
Right.
was elected by over 800,000 constituents, and you're denying her. I mean, this is the longest period of time where a member of Congress hasn't been sat into the body. I mean, it's completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I think what he's realizing is that they're not winning the argument, and they certainly didn't win it last night. And so on election night, and so we're going to get brought back soon. I think there's going to hopefully be a deal to be made there. Adelita should be sat already. What Mike Johnson doesn't want with the Epstein files is he knows that there's going to be a huge break in his caucus. So if this thing goes to a vote in the House, and even if it's just the House, there is going to be a large chunk of Republicans that are going to vote for this bill.
And that's Massey, that's Marjorie Taylor Greene,
Yeah, and I think a lot of others that don't want to be on record not
Right.
supporting the release. I mean, when you spend, half your campaign saying you're gonna release the Epstein files as a member of Congress, and then you have a time to vote on it and you vote no, it's pretty easy to
Yeah.
say you voted against releasing the Epstein files.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a big chunk of them, vote to release them, and I think Mike Johnson doesn't wanna see that, and Trump would be furious, again,
Right.
at Mike Johnson.
And this idea that he's gonna be able to pressure Thune to end the filibuster, I mean, that strikes me as, and then he's fighting with Lindsey Graham. I mean, do you think that's real, and do you think that happens?
I don't. I mean, Thune's been pretty vocal,
Right.
about his position. I just don't see that moving. I don't know that last night Trump endeared himself to many more people after
Right.
last night's loss. I mean, he certainly tanked, a lot of the chances Republicans had across the country. Didn't help in New Jersey at all by some of his, late actions. Certainly, Andrew Cuomo didn't have a great night, thanks in part to Donald Trump's last-minute
Last minute endorsement,
endorsement.
though he did win, I think he won Staten Island.
He went Staten Island. There, yeah, exactly. Good for him. And what a great win for Zoran and I think the country and for
Yeah.
the it's gonna be pretty incredible to watch, the next few weeks and months there. I think they hold. I don't think Thune's gonna cave on the filibuster. I think that within a week, we're gonna have some type of deal on the table as it should. I mean, people need their paychecks, people need access to food. This has gotta end, and Republicans have gotta get back to work.
So one of the things, because you are ranking on oversight, you are like sort of the only person stopping Trump. I mean, your crew is sort of the only people trying to stop Trump from doing a lot of the stuff, like demolishing the East Wing, etc., putting up new signs on the Oval Office, but also more seriously, like having a crazy militia. What can you legitimately do to put sand in the gears here?
I think we're doing with the powers that we have. I'm really proud actually of the
Yeah.
Oversight Committee. I told the caucus, during the process of the election for the position, I said, look, our goal is to like model what being in the fight looks like, and
Yeah.
for all of our committees in the Congress, all of our committees in the Congress should be in the fight every fucking day. Like just as you throw as much at the administration as possible. And we've had some success. I mean, we have taken issues to the courts. We've supported lawsuits that have used our work to make the case, in front of the courts, which has been great to see. We have advanced more on the Epstein files than folks thought possible by actually getting some of the documents and the notes and the subpoenas,
Yeah.
breaking out. I mean, Alec, what the new revelations about Alex Acosta? Now he's clearly not telling the truth. I mean, there's a lot that is developing there. And then I think our work, for example, around ICE and DHS. So
Yeah.
we're chronicling all the injustice and the unconstitutional actions and the violations of due process, which is important to keep records of because I told everyone we are not going to allow, at this moment for for the people in this country, particularly young people, to think that what's happening now is okay.
Yeah.
Because at some point, we're gonna have to stand up and say what happened was not okay, and this is how we are going to address what
Good.
what what these people did and how we're gonna hold these people accountable. So that
Good.
is also gonna be really important. Every action the Trump administration takes, they have to know that we are gonna document it, we're gonna call it out, we're gonna ask questions, and we're asking questions of private industry. So, sure, Trump doesn't wanna, work with us on the donors to the ballroom, but you best believe when we're sending letters to all those companies, they know that Donald Trump's not gonna be the president forever.
Yeah.
And they're very aware that we, likely will win the majority back.
Yeah.
And we win the majority back, they better respond to the subpoenas that we're going to send, and if we ask them to come testify, they will be coming to answer our questions. And so, I think that the American, particularly the business community that is working in some cases to appease Trump, including some in the media,
Right.
I think, have to be on notice.
So true. Robert Garcia, thank you, thank you, thank you.